All right, we're live.
Hey!
What?
Hi, everybody. Welcome back.
Hi.
This is episode 2 of Arc 4 of Better Than Heroes. I'm Rachel Weeks, and I play Klik, the level 10 Tohr-Kreen fighter.
I'm Andrew Ovredahl, and I play the human bard warlock Flute, aka the Windrider.
I'm Jordan Dahl, and I play the Moonboy, a level 10 Moonboy.
I'm a level 10 Aaron Urist, and I play K.A.I Hammerstein, the Artificer.
And I'm Harlan Kelly. I'm the dungeon master of this game, and I play everybody else.
We are going to play some 5e Spelljammer inspired D&D tonight. Our show is live soundtracked by the wonderful Jason Wardell.
Yeah.
You can hear in your ears. It is directed by K.A.I of Tiger Moon Productions. And it is brought to you... Alright, and it's brought to you by our patrons and subscribers. Our show is quite literally paid for and brought to you by everyone who subscribes to our Patreon and subscribes to our channel. So thank you guys so much for making this possible for us to come back every week and play Dungeons & Dragons for you. If you like the show and you want to see us continue to grow and play D&D and do more arcs, then consider supporting the show financially. We would appreciate it so much. You can
Level
do so.
20.
Yeah, let's all the way. You can do so by subscribing to our channel or joining our Patreon. We also have merch on our Teespring store that you can check out. There's t-shirts and stickers, lots of cool stuff and jokes from previous arcs. So check that out as well. If that is not financially possible for you right now, we totally understand. Please just tell people about the show. That means a lot and helps us grow and have more people in the chat to make this an interactive experience as much as possible. So share the good news of Better Than Heroes.
Tell a rich person.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to, like, get a big logo and just cover each one of our faces and pay us for it, we're on board.
Mm-hmm.
That would be great.
This is our Tell a Rich Person campaign.
Yeah. I want Dave's Car Wash logo. I'll wear a t-shirt every week. We're gonna rep car wash. I don't know.
GoldenPalace.com.
Gonna sell the old windshield.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
one of the McDuck twins? Ask your uncle. Triplets, I suppose.
Anyway, we appreciate everything that you do for this channel, and we're excited to have you here tonight. So, let's play some D&D. Before we get started, let's do a recap. We got last week's recap.
That's right, we're doing those again. Yes! Previously on Better Than Heroes, 33 days after the liberation of the Kreen city of Jadurian, the process of rebuilding was well underway. Klik refused to become the city's new leader because doing that wouldn't be very interesting for the show. Her place was with her friends, doing spelljamming, but after more than an Earth month, there was still no sign of the dinger anywhere. And the crew's problems didn't stop there. Moonboy's hat, once a reliable source of good advice and pleasant lunar interludes, was now belching out weird moon monsters at an alarming rate. Moonboy asked K.A.I to look into the hat for him, and he agreed, speaking to an alternatingly hostile and sheepish moon, who said they were somehow unavailable until the following day. The Windrider showed the crew his new ride, Stygia's Sight, a shuttle-sized bat-jammer of uncharacteristically kick-ass and concerningly evil appearance. A ramshackle vessel approached the walls of Jadurian, bearing a load of Skull Goblin refugees, fleeing a Mind Flayer incursion into their kingdom. Even more surprising were the other refugees, the crew's old friend Aldos the Ootling from Mingabwe, and the crew's old frenemy Felix of the Widowers, who had helped the crew escape the Widower Ark, but in a super evil way. The final reveal was the vessel's fish person captain, the Breeze Traveler, who was not only dressed like the Windrider and had based his entire everything on the lore of the Flute's swashbuckling persona, but upon closer inspection, he was in fact a warlock engaged in a poser's pact with the Tohr legend of the Sinker. The Windrider ascended to godhood. So the Mind Flayers have captured the Skull Goblin King's lands? Isn't that where Florial's portal thing is? Is that bad? Find out right now on Better Than Heroes.
He's soft. 3, 2, 1, maybe now. I think we're back. All right, I think we're going. It's true, we are. We're back. Hi, hello. So, we find the party. You all are inside of Jadorian. The ship has landed, and you have the Ringer, the ship of the Breeze Traveler, has landed, and the ship has unloaded all of the folks, and you are surprised by how many folks that it ended up holding. There's a pile of Cyclopses and Skull Goblins off of there, as well as Alice the Ortling, Felix the Widower, the criminal organization that you used to be a part of, Flute, and the Breeze Traveler himself. And so I'm going to put you all kind of in this, right next to this gate where the ship has landed, and you are amongst this crowd. And what would you all like to do?
We were talking to Felix last, right?
We were going after him. I was following you,
put the art
and we
up
were going
whenever.
after him, I think.
Yeah. Felix, long time no, hi. What are you doing here?
He turns and looks up at you all, and his eyes kind of widen, and he goes, and he kind of like looks down, and he says, "You all are in trouble." And with that case, if you want to throw up the art for that Jordan did this week of Felix himself, it's wonderful and great. You all can see it here in Roll20 as well. I'll pop it over for you. Give me just a second.
Would like to see. Wow.
Yeah, very cool.
Ooh.
I love it.
Look at him.
Oh, he's so green.
That's his thing.
Verdant.
I love
That's
a
his
man
thing.
who wears armor and also a lot of bangles.
Yes,
Definitely.
Yeah, you can see like he clearly like dyed his hair somehow, and he doesn't do it magically. He like does it with actual dye, and you can see it kind of, it's like come out of his black hairs. He looks pretty weathered, and you kind of, when you saw him before, he was this powerful caster on the huge ship called the Ark that was the Widower ship, and now he's a bit bedraggled and beaten up and looks gaunt in comparison to when you last saw him. And he's somebody who, you know, helped you escape that ship, kind of let you go and said it was a better story for you all to live in the world. And yeah, shout out Jordan. You're every week you just you blow me away. So he kind of looks up and looks at you, and he says, like, "You all are in trouble."
Thank you so much. I was muted.
Yeah, no problem.
We were talking. I was laughing so hard. Me and Harlan were talking about. Harlan was just like, everything green, all green. That's this guy's thing. And I was like, that's his thing. It was either this or ska. And he was like, I'm gonna go green. I'm a green guy.
Yeah, just I was describing Jordan. I was like, yeah, at some point he just picked it and stuck. You know, it just became
Going
like
green
is
his thing.
important
So-
for a wizard.
Felix the Green.
Felix
Yeah,
the
so he just kind of like finally has like found a spot to sit down and is just kind of like leaning on his head on this like kind of bit of rubble that has not been cleared away from on the inside of the wall.
Yes, I'm sure Felix is very tired from being defeated.
I'll keep walking up to Felix and say, you look like you know something about trouble. Is it a hard road from where we last left you?
Yes, he says the Ark was overtaken. The widower ship that you all snuck onto before you know.
Oh no.
Explain it to you.
Overtaken by who?
Power Face.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Oh right.
That's not who I expected. So is
After
it like
leaving Firma Regna, we traveled out to Hakatha to try and make a deal with him as our business interest with Ventress fell apart with his death. We no longer had any connection with the Meridian Tract. The Elven Armada did not wish to work with us, and so we tried to strike a deal with him. But his only deal was taking our ship.
Yeah, he's fully insane. We've been hiding from him. He's trying to get into our dreams. Sorry.
He says, I know. He was very adamant that...
He mentioned us?
Yes.
Oh.
Did you have the dream with the Mooney too?
He looks at you and... he says, I've seen the Dark Star.
What's that?
Is that what you call the moon?
No. He says, I've looked into the eye of Power Face, and he says it's terrible. And it's haunted my dreams. I see the orb, the swirling dark orb of his eye in my dreams all the time. Jason Wardell, everybody. Show is live soundtrack by our very own Jason Wardell. It's not ambient music we were playing in the background. It is a live soundtrack from our boy Jason Wardell. It's amazing.
Also, shout out Cam W. Thank you for that sub.
Love it.
But he kind of like looks up and he's like, but Powerface, besides taking our ship for his own, all he was interested in was you.
Why?
Well,
we said that we would go out there and help him with... I don't even remember what we promised him.
he just wanted to meet us. He's
He had a
clearly
job for us.
a tyrant
Right.
and quite mad.
But you did not go.
He didn't go.
He wants you. He wants you. He wants to possess you.
Right. I got that vibe off of him from the very beginning that it was kind of
Right.
adding us to his menagerie.
Yeah, he had big space zoo vibes all over him. So we've been fleeing. How did you get mixed up with the Breeze Traveler?
How do you escape?
It's incredible. What's that?
He kind of holds his glowing staff up a little bit, and he says, "I still have a few tricks." He says, "I managed to get out of there, and
Magic.
he says I came across this one after teleporting myself back to Mingabwe." And he nods over to Aldous, who you see, Aldous the Ortling, who you all met on one of the moons you went through as well. And he's this pale blue-skinned creature that is just floating and has his legs crossed. He's kind of like what we in real life would, like a gray alien looking dude who has this big orb-shaped head. And he's he took me in when we were there, and we escaped together when Mingabwe was taken by, when the moon was taken by the colony. He says the Mind Flayers attacked there as well.
Right. How are you, Aldous? It's good to see you.
with that gesture, like Aldous had come like floating over, and he was like, "Hello." And you see him kind of like grin, though he looks tired and like a bit gaunt as well. Even though he has this like glowing, floating form, he's still he like both looks regal and tired at the same time. And he's like, "I'm very glad that you are alive."
Likewise. How did you get from Mingabwe to here? Was it with the Breeze Traveler?
It was.
And then to the kingdom of Buzzsnorg. How did you come to be with these goblins? What? That's the king's name.
I know. I think it's
It is funny. It's
a funny
Buzzsnorg.
name. It's silly.
Aldous says, "I was with a small troop of folks who managed to effectively evacuate Mingabwe when it was first attacked by the colony ships, but we were pursued on one of these. We did our best to stay away from the tentacled ships of the Mind Flayer, but they have ways of tracking you and finding us. And at one of those close moments where they caught up to us and our ship was being slowly dismantled by the tentacles of the Mind Flayer ship.
Been there.
This Breeze Traveler appeared and was the only reason we got out of there alive. I can say I am a fan of his speed.
Yes.
That he moves through the world, not the speed of his ship. His ship is not very fast, but it is odd enough to fly under their radar.
Right.
And
Right.
So we
because
have,
it flies really low.
He's got a certain panache, I would say. He's pretty cool.
Does that mean
I wouldn't
smell?
call him cool, but I would call him at the right place at the right time.
I think it does.
Convenient.
Clammy.
Yes.
I don't know.
But-
I don't know what it is, but he seems pretty cool.
What about Talon? Did Talon escape?
He kind of like looks down and he goes, "I don't know. She was with her sister when the attack happened, and I feel very confident that they have their means of effectively moving through the world under great pressure, but I
Yes.
have not been in contact with them since."
I mean, she's got that arm full of lasers and shredding crystals and stuff. Stalin! You know, she'll be back to try to get our ship or some other craziness. I'm sure she's not
She
dead.
isn't already.
"She might be dead," says Aldous. He goes,
Why would you?
He says, since we've left, we've tried. We've been a bit at the whim of the Breeze Traveler, but he has been adamant on finding you, and that is aligned with what I can see of the world. And so we have been skipping through the space to try and find a safe place to land, but it has been nothing but danger since we have moved closer and closer to you.
And the colony is being aggressive everywhere.
So
Yes, I
what
mean,
happened at the Goblin Kingdom?
We were welcomed there with the mere mention of your name, but it was not long after that the goblins knew. They've reported of two nautiloids that were in the area, and that number seems to have risen as the 4 nautiloids showed up to the walls of the palace of the Skull Goblin King, and they managed to down one of them, but they had to flee as well. They could not hold the gate.
It's terrible. And this is all because we Stole a mind flare ship.
No, Aldous says, and he says, there are, and he kind of like, he holds his hands up, and when he does that, you just see like, some, like, he like has a few rocks in his hand, and when he holds them up, they kind of like float in the air in front of him, and he says, when you move one thing in the world, and he like, you see it fly, he like shoves one of the rocks that is floating, and it like bounces against another one, and the two move this way, and they like get stuck in a current because they get moved around this way, and now they're all spinning around faster and they're like hitting each other more and more. And he goes, when one piece gets shoved in a hard direction, all the others of the world move around as well. It is
Right.
peace is a difficult thing, and when a few of the spokes of the world decay or are broken, things fall quickly.
Right. I mean, I understand that they weren't like, our ship's been stolen, we declare war on everyone, but that was
Listen.
the butterfly that affected.
K.A.I, you can't wear that, man. They were always going to do this. We saw it the second we landed on Zimbabwe. We saw right through it. The colony was trying to colonize. And, you know, Aldous probably didn't help that you were waving that whopper of a brain around in front of them the whole time. I'm sure.
It's deeply offensive.
I'm sure. Well, listen.
You know this. You're referencing a history where
What
my
were they
people were
eating
eaten
instead
by-
of? Well, what were they eating if not brains? And I'm sure you know you can only eat so many pumpkins and pretend it's a brain.
I think his
Before-
people were like bred for super
I'm
big
ju-
brain
well, look,
size
I'm just
by mind
saying.
flayers.
I'm just saying it's not an I told you so, but we said mind flayers are going to flay minds. It's right in the name. I wanted to believe that it was.
Flayer's
Not
going
so.
to flay.
Don't hate the flayer.
Hate the flame.
Maybe there is still hope. Maybe there's maybe there's a contingent of mind flayers who can help us, but sadly it wasn't those ones.
Felix kind of like looks up and he goes, he's like, well, he goes, Powerface is coming for you. I know it. I've heard him speak of it. I was on the Ark when he, you know, the widowers that did not bow to him were interrogated. They were disintegrated in front of my eyes. They were taken to some place that Powerface called, he kind of like shivers and like looks up and around and he's like, the Slimer.
The slime.
Yes, Powerface has something called the Slimer that he took them to, and when they were brought back, I could see their claws poking out of their hands. Their skin began to ooze, change to, they were
They got slimified.
wet.
They've been slimed.
He's like, their bodies were changing, and he's like, and he's coming for you, and so Hakata is on the edge of this world, and it is. The first stop is Garden, the first planet. So, he's like, the Ark was taken over by his beholders, Powerface's beholders, and
Not Powerface?
no, he says. I mean, he came in later, but he was not the first beholder on that ship. And he says so, and. Aldous is like kind of interrupts him and he says, so it seems that you have Powerface pressing from the edge and the colony coming from the center. And as like he like holds up these swirling rocks again and he says, how can we help you?
Does anyone know if Powerface and the colony have an alliance of any sort?
And if they don't,
We could drive
can
them right
we-
into each other.
how could we pitch them against one another? I could ask the moon, but and I think at that moment his hat kind of
bucks like something's gonna come out of it, and he's like, hey, nothing.
Yeah, no, you're holding
she's
onto the hat, and there's
busy.
clearly something inside of there that you're just like holding
ow,
it on.
ow,
Yeah.
ow, it's slimy.
It kind of just like settles down, but you can see it move every once in a while, and there's definitely something under that hat.
Whatever the plan is, they can't come here. They can't. Jadorian can't fight another war. They just rebuilt.
I need to
just won their
leave.
city. If we could get Powerface to chase us, we could lead him to the Goblin City, where those nautiloids are.
I mean, what is our... We've somehow managed to set all of wild space at war against each other in an effort to kill us first. So that we could try to keep the Dinger close at hand, and in so doing, we've managed to lose the Dinger.
Yes.
So...
It hasn't exactly been the smoothest series of events.
As you say that, the Breeze Traveler just, like pokes his head and he goes, "So, what's the plan?" He says, "I see we're meeting. I see." He's like, "This is amazing. We're meeting. It's us putting our minds to. I am here in the circle with these, with a god and his followers. His angels."
I wouldn't call them my followers, but
Oh, his creations. Excuse me.
Did you come here all the way from Koliar?
Yes, I did. He says,
All by
I
yourself?
had to find you.
No one else wanted to come?
No, I mean, they did not believe me that you could be found. They said you wouldn't have turned them all away if you were, if you meant to be found. But I know, I heard you in my dreams.
How did you find us?
I followed my heart.
Sure, you just followed the steady trail of destruction.
Yeah.
If this fish can find us, so can Powerface. I mean, we need to.
Probably easier.
Who's closer?
The fish.
Hekatha?
Oh.
or the Goblin City.
The Goblin City's next door, right?
The Goblin City's here on Garden. The
Yeah.
Powerface lives out in the boonies, right?
Where's
Yeah, we said it was like 24 days away or something.
Yeah,
It's like really far.
So Felix looks up and he's like, he's coming to you. His
Right, well,
cavalry
how much time do we have?
I don't know where he is. He says, but his cavalry is on its way. They have taken the Ark and are coming here. And then
Do we know roughly how long that would be? I mean, we knew how long it would take us to get there.
yeah. So Felix tells you that he has escaped. So he kind of like got out of there and teleported.
Yeah.
So you know that you all. So it does take 24 days to travel from, because of like where the planets are, blah blah blah, rings. It takes him 24 days to travel from Hekatha to Garden, but you don't know when the Ark
He
left,
left
so you would have to
exactly,
find out basically. And then Aldous also says, or I'm sorry, the Breeze Traveler says, he's like, yes, wait. I thought you wanted to defeat your sworn enemies, the Meridian Tract. I have heard of them. They came and attacked you. I've heard the legend. That's you all want to finish them off. Where they're your sworn enemies. We can defeat them. Could we not?
Right. Well, we just dealt them a blow, taking back this city. I think they're the last of our concerns, Pablo.
Interesting.
Yes, they've
So
been...
you don't want to. I do know where their last hold is. They've and Aldous kind of like looks up and he says, with the attacks of the he goes, with the attacks of the colonies, with the attack of the colony, everything from toward the center, toward the sun, past He's
So
like,
you were
everything
right,
around.
Haldos.
Yeah. He's like, they have all of the defenses of the inner planets have been pulled back. He's like, there is nothing defending the outer ring of planets. He says, this is the tiers of the saloon have been closed off to ensure the safety now that the mind flayers press forward. And he looks up at you and goes, which I know you all have friends on Firma-Regna, on Chandos. They are no longer protected by the Inner Alliance. He kind of like looks at you and is like, the politics of the world currently are very fragile.
What happened to the Goblin King?
The Breeze Traveler puts his fish head in his fish fin and he goes, there was no saving him.
He didn't get turned into a... You know,
At least he got that ice cream, I guess.
they didn't turn him into a mind flayer, did they?
Not that I saw, but he was taken into the ship. He was picked up by one of the tentacles and held aloft and pulled onto the ship. It was devastating.
Yeah, it sounds
That's
rough.
a real
It's not
morale
good.
blow.
What if Slow Death is back in her lair and we bring the fight to her lair? Perhaps she would
I don't think we
benefit
also
us
need
again.
Just to add another enemy to the list.
a... Yeah,
Well, I
don't-
mean,
don't-
honestly, there's nothing to say that all of these people are in any agreement to lie against us.
No,
They
that's true.
are, they are tyrants and
Ego monsters to the
ego
last.
monsters and fascists who are all vying for power. And if we can put them in Slow Death's lair, then we don't need to ask her for a favor. We know how she does business. We barely escaped with our lives. These are all
I'm just trying to think of a
options.
place we
Just-
could lure them to that's not
don't
right
know.
here.
yeah,
don't
that's
know.
not next door to my
We could go. We could go
parents'
to the-
house.
What's the name of
The
our
city that you
parent?
just rebuilt.
To Dorian, yeah.
We have our home base cove that we took over. Cove of the Bones. Is that what
Oh,
it's
the
called?
Cove of Bones.
It's in Garden.
We could make a blast
Go
for the
back
Cove of Bones and try to
Cove of
make a
Bones,
stand
evacuate
there.
the city, and fight from there.
Fight who?
Fight who?
Whoever comes first.
Yeah.
We need.
If so,
We can't wait here to be attacked
we
or
have to
put
leave.
the
Can't.
city in danger.
We know we have to leave here. We know that Powerface wants us bad.
I'm in no shape to fight right now. I don't know what it is under my hat, but I think it just went to the bathroom. I can't summon anything. We need to find someone to fix this. We need to find the Moon Girl.
You just see like a
a-
leak coming down the
Yeah.
side of Moonboy's head.
These problems have grown to
Luminous liquid.
beyond our understanding. That's for
I-
sure. Maybe you're right. The Moon Girl went to find Florial, and
You know, there is.
Well, if we had any idea where to find
We do.
Florial,
We do.
we have a gate to
the
Florial.
Goblin
It's just
Castle.
in the Goblin King's.
right, but we don't know if
House.
it goes both ways. We just know the garbage comes through it.
but last we
I think it's the best hope we have. We make for the gate.
We have to get through
We implore
Well,
Florial. Maybe the
uh,
Moon Girl's there.
the Goblin City full of players. That's where they
Right.
are, right?
a direct assault on.
A
need
city
to
of mind players with
Well,
3 nautiloids that
Maybe
landed
we
there.
We might need to find
salt.
another. We might need to find another way.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
So just to clarify, just some quick pieces of information. Klik does know because of living a life inside of when she touched the Clutch of the Souls, which you all still have.
I pushed it into the thing.
Yeah, well, I guess that you know is down there.
Sure. Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure it was noted that it wasn't destroyed. It was just, or
Yeah,
maybe I
but
guess
it's just
yeah, it's
It
like
fell a long
entombed
way.
there. Yeah. So, but you know that that there is a kind of like portal system that could allow you to move faster throughout the world. And you've encountered some of like these portals before. You also, the thing that was conveyed to you was that the Mind Flayers have kind of like set up camp in the palace of the Skull Goblin King because they've taken that place over, and it seems that they haven't been able to push past that so far from like what they have reported, but they just know that the city has basically fallen to these 3 Nautiloid ships that are full of Mind Flayers.
Right. I mean, in order
I
to
just want to make sure those.
And the doors to the portals are inside the palace, right? To those doors that
They were in the
Florial
king's
on.
like chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had like a tchotchke shelf behind his desk, as I recall.
Yes.
Pretty
And I will say
profesh.
that is one instance. It is not to make sure it doesn't just because it doesn't get lost in translation. That is one of the instances of it. Yes.
right. We know there are other
That's the only one
such
we know of.
Florial doors.
Correct. Yeah.
But to retake that one, we would need an army, and
We do not have.
we don't have one.
Or we would need a portal that would let us right into the castle. We can fight Mind Flayers. We've done it before. We'll fight our way to the portal, dive in.
Maybe too many even for us. And also,
But we
I just
don't know
made.
that.
And also, I just built this ship.
Well,
I don't want to leave it here.
What's another plan then? I'm doing the best I can.
No, you're doing
I'm
great.
hearing only
Perhaps we can find another Florial.
a Florial Dorial.
Yeah.
You.
Also,
And that's your episode title.
and
so,
also,
so did Bub Glub?
You could call me Bub.
Bub's great. Can do. He said that he mentioned specifically that the Meridian Tract base is undefended right now.
It's not undefended. I just know the location of it.
Yeah.
He says proudly. He says,
Do you
I
mind
came to
sharing
tell
with
you.
the class?
Yes, he says it is in the Tears of Saloon. The rocks floating around Toril. He says, like, very excited that he's helpful. He's like, I came here just to share this information with you. He says it's called the Continuum Tier. It's hidden in a rock, and I have seen it in my dreams. And I can show you the silvery door to get inside, and we can take it back and defeat the sworn enemies of the Windrider.
Can I, as someone who often, as someone who often dreams of portentous events, can I see, with maybe an insight check,
portentous.
portentous
I
events?
heard dreams of pretentious events.
Pretentious
Just like Wes Anderson
A tea
film
party.
screenings, luncheons.
Oh, tennis club? It's a private club.
Yeah, those are the Moonboy's dreams.
Amazing.
Can I maybe roll insight to see if this is a potential actual someone who has seen visions, or if this person is fully insane?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, 100%. You can roll insight.
Let's
I'll
see.
say, Bubba, little Windrider trivia, Toril is actually my home planet.
He, like, holds his chest, and he's like, I did not know that. He says, but I will share that with the others when I return home. Add to your mythos, a god born on a planet.
How many
Additionally,
Kuatoa live on Koliar, Bubba?
He says, there are many communities of fish folk, but ours, he says, is about, I would say, 200 on a good day. Well, I mean, maybe 220 now that you have returned all of the captured travelers
That
to
was a
us.
20,
Right.
dirty
Once
20 on
they
that
get
insight
to
to see if this person
spawning.
is a babbling maniac.
He's not making shit up. And with a dirty 20, he kind of like the way he speaks about it. You can tell it's a similar thing where like you dream of an image or something, some sort of like. He even mentions he's like. Just more like images. He's like, yes, I saw the rock and I saw this glowing door, and then it zoomed out and it was amongst many, and I could take you there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now I believe him. He's
And
he
so
found you.
and
You know
he has
what
magic
else?
powers.
If I was going to try to pick out of anywhere in wild space that might have a Florial portal hanging out,
Flortal.
the Meridian Tract headquarters would be at the very top of the list.
They love a portal.
And they are obsessed with Florial.
They love portals. And they
Also,
love-
if we could bring this, all of these pursuing enemies to the doorstep of the Meridian Tract, that's also not a bad arrangement.
Right.
it's not a bad idea.
They just took a blow. They lost a number of ships. It's
Although
it's
we are
possible
leading them
right now
back.
is the time to just crash everybody into each other.
Okay.
I think we...
If that's
would be
if
leading them
this is where
into
the
the-
fish folk think you're going, then perhaps Powerface could think that as well. That we're gonna continue our plan just to take down the Meridian Tract.
It's a good point.
Question for the DM. What, if anything, would we know about the Rock of Brawl?
Oh yeah, I mean it's a city that you've spent time in. If you have a specific question about it, you can roll a history check for it. But just in general, it's like a flat city. It's kind of like its own island metropolis inside of realm space. They're on one side. It's basically an overcrowded city that is like a very popular place. One of the things it's known for is kind of being a very neutral zone, because it has a lot of strong defenses, but is not kind of like manages to be a neutral space. And like the culture of the city is that you don't fight there, and but the Widowers did really well there because it is with a lot of these rules. It has a criminal underbelly, but as far as like political associations, it's very neutral.
So it's kind of a
It's Switzerland.
More-
Space
more-
Switzerland.
Yeah. Well, I was
Yeah.
gonna say more of a Miami than a Vegas.
Kind of like Gotham in space, with like
Okay.
some Alpine Switzerland material there. Yeah,
There's a lot of crime in Gotham.
yeah. There's a lot of crime in the Rock
Yeah.
Brawl, but
Okay.
it's,
Which
it's
you
more
would think-
it's more about
Any Batman?
Which you'd think it would be
armies,
the worst,
like,
the
politics.
last place you'd want to be a criminal. It's the one place Batman is. Just saying.
Yeah.
I
Well-
don't know where
Well-
we should go, but we should go soon.
I mean, we know we need to leave here. That's for sure.
I agree.
I mean, it seems like our best bet is to try to get out of here and stay one step ahead of our enemies long enough to find Florial.
Okay. So
But
that's-
also, though,
As soon
the
as we
Dinger.
find Florial, we have to deal with that dragon.
But the Dinger also is missing. And
But we don't know that they're in any peril. They might be just fine, you know.
we're willing to bet everyone's lives on that?
Absolutely not. But I mean, we're
Well, we
cornered
don't know,
here,
but
you
we do know
We've
that
got
all these people in Chidorian are here and alive, and we can't,
very few options.
No,
can't
You're
be
right,
here
I'm sorry.
when anyone shows up.
And, I mean, we'll keep looking for the Dinger while we go. Maybe
course we
Florial will have some idea.
Or maybe the Meridian Tract.
Maybe.
Right.
They were after the ship before.
So,
It's possible that they just wanted to steal the ship away anyway.
Right. And anyone who has business with us who did have the Dinger would probably try to use it as some kind of leverage. Well,
Felix pipes up and he says, "All I know is, wherever you go, Powerface is going to be following you. He
right.
will
And so
stop
will
at
the-
nothing, and with the chaos that the world is currently in, that is his. It is a tinderbox for him. That is his playing field is chaos. And Aldous kind of like pipes up as well and says, there are many who will be overtaken from the colony. The mind flayers want nothing. The mind flayers of the colony want nothing but to take over as much space as they can while the world is at unrest. They're moving toward from Aregna. They are moving toward from Glith towards Garden as well, as we know, because they are here. So he says, I would say the power face is secondary. And then Felix interrupts him and is like, I mean, you haven't seen what he has on this ship. You haven't seen the ship that he has. The Mind Flayers, they've been allied with before. Just ally with them again and end this threat now. There's nothing can stop it. You haven't seen what he can do to people. And Aldous is like, puts his hand down. He's like, these are ancient threats. The Mind Flayer, and he says people are dying right now. He's kind of like you've never seen Aldous like get upset, and he's like kind of like yelling back at Felix a little bit. And then the Breeze Traveler interrupts, and he's like, I think you all should just ride out there and destroy all of them. Nothing can stop you.
All right, Bub. Breeze Traveler, walk with me. Walk with me a little bit over here. I want to see the ship. Show me your ship.
Wonderful, he says.
I'll kind of just take him
Murders
and
him.
steer him away.
Pushes him off the edge of Jadorian.
Come back without
yeah.
no,
Cuts his
That guy.
throat.
no. I do want
Kills
to
him
see
like
his
it.
ship.
You know.
All right, I guess we're throwing in with the fishman. He's pretty cool,
I was just pulling
I've
away
got to
because
say.
he was
Yeah.
interrupting the
Yeah.
conversation.
No, I know. I'm just.
So
keeping-
yeah. So we can pull over to you all investigating the ship in a second. We'll do the like just you and the Breeze Traveler in a tiny moment. But the three of you are kind of like left with Felix and Aldous, who are arguing with each other about like you just like Felix keeps talking about like the horror and power that he has seen and that Aldous doesn't understand, and Aldous is trying to explain to him like how this is a problem that needs to be nipped in the bud, like cut off at the center. You hear Aldous keep saying.
I mean, how can we stop 3 nautiloids worth of mind flayers? I don't understand how we even help.
can't.
I think we need to
can't.
stay ahead of them if we can.
But if they're just going to continue eating and eating, then
Maybe we can. But Powerface could. If he's as dangerous as he thinks, you say he is, we could. Maybe we could make, him think that the Mind Flayers want to come for his empire. And then, I don't know how we do that, but maybe we could seed the information I'm a
He's
Moonboy,
watching-
not a
yeah.
spy.
do we
He's watching
know?
us
Famous
now?
quotes.
Do we know the relationship between Powerface and Mind Flayers? Like, we met Powerface in the lair of the picture frame of a lair in the Mind Flayers, right?
No, it wasn't Mind Flayers. It was Meridian Tract.
It was Meridian Tract?
Ventress's vault.
Yeah, Ventress's
Yeah,
vault.
but
Okay.
it is not a secret in the world that Powerface does not like the colony. He kind of sees them as a threat to, like, Aldous, who seems to know a decent amount about the politics of the world as well,
Yeah.
can kind of like say that too. He's like, the colony is an organized threat that are a threat to Powerface's ego. He believes that he is the most powerful being in this universe, and they
Right.
have shown him otherwise.
Okay.
Well, maybe we could get email Powerface and be like,
Maybe.
Dear Powerface, hope this email finds you terrifying. We want to come and have you stuff us and put us on your shelf to be part of your menagerie, but the Mind Flayers won't let us.
Wait. Maybe. And Moonboy takes the necklace off that protects us from Powerface while we sleep. And he's like, maybe we could just dream him the information.
Can we do that?
Maybe.
Can you
I
do
mean,
that?
I mean,
We
if
could
he
take-
shows up, you could.
My mind is going in this area.
I mean,
If
I
if
love
we
that
go to
idea.
sleep, if we go to sleep without this on, odds are Powerface will try to invade our dreams. Me and the Windrider, and whoever wants in on the stream caper.
Well, Klik and I don't sleep and don't
I know
dream.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. So maybe the two of you.
I also am not entirely clear on what
So
you can do
I-
and
Right.
can't
I
do
know.
in a dream.
Exactly.
So
I'm
I'm
not
know
gonna.
totally
that's-
clear on what it is
Well,
exactly.
listen,
Yeah.
You're
we'll
like,
have a brief
It's-
seminar.
You can just talk to
okay.
somebody
All right,
in
stop
a-
it. Okay, stop. Don't worry about it. Me and Windrider, we've been dreaming all our lives. We've got that covered. If you two on the outside could maybe manipulate our dreams somehow with magic or, I don't know, tech sorcery, maybe we could make them think that the Mind Flayers already have us and are coming for him next. I don't know.
right. Maybe we could make like an automated message for Powerface when he tries to get into your dream.
Yeah, could we?
It's like, Dear
Right.
Powerface, thank you for attempting to invade my consciousness. Unfortunately, the Mind Flayers have already invaded my consciousness,
Right,
and they're
isn't
totally
it the-
messing with your steeds, and they
the
say you're
brain-
not all that.
The brain you have tried to call has little legs now and is a horrible little monster that breaks out of your skull and tries to eat intellect.
Right. Well, here's what we know. Each of our enemies is the most terrifying force that the universe has ever seen, and they're all clamoring to get a piece of our ass.
Yeah, but like
And
Powerface wants it like because he wants to have our ass rather than eat our ass, which is preferable.
Well,
it's the that's his version of eating our brain, is just having
Eating our
possessing us.
yeah, we
And like he'll probably try to mind control us, or like who knows what he'd get up to. I don't
Did
know.
you guys ever read that one Constantine
I guess that's something I can.
where he sold his soul to 3 different demons so that they would fight each other and no one would get it?
That does sound good. That would work. I don't know.
It's
The only thing
kind
I
of
can
what
think
I'm
of,
drawing off of here.
the only thing I can think of to do is try to sort of put them all off and try to get to Florial.
If you dream tonight, I can speak with, and Powerface shows up telepathically in your brain. There is a chance that I could communicate with Powerface
Oh,
telepathically.
I like
That's
that.
incredible.
That's
then we
cool.
would
With
then
Moonboy is like a weird conduit.
yeah, then me and
telepathically
Klik
communicating
would
through dreams.
technically
Incredible.
both be there.
I love
Because
it.
if he shows up in the dream and I can communicate with Moonboy telepathically, it's possible that I
Kai, are
could find the Powerface in Moonboy's dream.
Kai, would you be able to do something similar with Windrider, Flute?
Maybe. I mean, this is all hypothetical, but we have a super cool dungeon master who's usually up for anything.
Such as a Dream Warrior sesh?
Maybe. Or just like, I don't know. We could try.
A Dream Palaver?
I mean, we could.
Do you have anything that lets you telepathically communicate with other people? Kai?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
duh. I'm a crazy robot.
Yeah, I got magic.
Let's take a break here then, as you all.
I think
kinda like-
I do. I don't know. I'll look over it.
as you all plan out this dream caper a little bit, as you all are like discussing the mechanics of like, and like Aldous and Felix are kind of like confused a little bit as you're discussing like this like hovering eye and like sleeping and like talking through dreams. They're just kind of like looking back, and Aldous is like, yes, and Felix is like trying to like keep up because you're kind of doing that thing where like when friends are talking and like using shorthand a little bit like inside communication, but he's still a wizard, so he's like catching on a little bit, but they're trying to stay caught up here. And as you all are discussing these things, you just see like Windrider and the Breeze Traveler walking over toward his ship, and we'll cut over to them after we take a quick 5-minute break where we drink, pee, and we'll be back in just a second. So see you in a second.
Before we take a break,
Yeah.
it really made me laugh calling Moonboy a dream router Kanaka. That's really funny.
Dude,
love
Chat
it.
has been popping off tonight.
All right.
You all, I had to
We'll
like,
see in a few.
I got distracted because of a couple of funny things that people said and just like good theories. So, yeah, we'll see you in just a second.
Nothing for Kira.
Oh,
She's
hi,
a cutie.
sweetie.
I think it's adorable.
Hey, sweetie.
What is her name?
Kira.
Kira. Okay, well, we're back on with Kira. New cat in the chat today.
Sorry, guys. There's a cat.
Man,
There's a kitty.
It's Kira.
We haven't seen Scully's butt one time tonight, have we?
Is her butt okay?
Dosing. She's. Do you see
Scully's-
that little
Wow.
fluff?
That's
this
Scully's butt
Wow.
cam.
That's her butt. Over there.
You see Kira? Look,
That's Planet Scully's butt.
look at
So
that rival
rare.
butt.
It's so rare.
Yeah.
I think that's
Scully's
a bad
playing
omen
hard to
for the
get
crew.
right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want a cat so
Hard.
bad.
Scully was here for like all of the Battle of
But
Jadorian.
I'm
You all came out
not
on top,
allowed to
so
have one legally.
It's a,
can't be
I think
within
it's a
500
sign of
feet of
woe.
one.
I'm out.
So, as we cut over here, we see this fish folk who is dressed up exactly like Flute is currently dressed. So there are these two people basically wearing the same outfit, walking along the wall of the city of Jadorian.
Little son.
I mean, Flute isn't that
So
tall.
bizarre.
It might look more like a twins.
It's got big training the new guy at work energy.
Totally. Keeps trying to put his hand on his shoulder. Flute keeps slapping it off.
New
yeah,
trainee is
he's
real
like-
fish man.
You all are like moving through like this crowd of these skull cyclopses, the skull goblins, and then like a bunch of Kreen who seem to be like Auntie Rabakosh is here now and is kind of like talking to some of them, and they seem
Auntie.
very hospitable and like they're just trying to like get everybody kind of like settled and sorted, and are discussing things with them. And then you, Windrider, and the Breeze Traveler are both walking up and like kind of like walk up to the ship, and he's like, yes, so he's like, this is the Ringer, named after the Dinger, your ship, but
Right.
it has
Oh,
my
my
own
God.
flavor to it. It's because it's not, it's like a Ringer because it's not exactly your ship, but it's a stand-in, and it's like, do you understand? It's kind of like,
actually a pretty clever double meaning that I didn't give you credit for. So
thank you. It also kind of like rings a bell, so it has that insinuation as well. So do you
it-
like it?
yeah.
Is it okay that I named my ship something similar?
Yeah, of course.
Wonderful.
Is
Wonderful.
is it damaged? I saw that it seemed to have a hard time coming in.
Yes, it's very broken. It's taken a few swipes from a couple of nautiloids, but don't worry. And he holds up his sword and he's like, I used my my sword and my cunning power of piloting the ship to get us out of there, and we were able to continue flying.
You helm this ship?
I jam, yes.
You. Sorry. You. Okay.
And
Why
this-
are you laughing?
I'm having so
This
much
ship-
fun.
It's too funny.
And this ship, it goes terminal speed?
It does. He says, I make it fly through the stars.
I'll kind of put my hand on his shoulder, reassuringly. I'll be like,
You know, Bublub, you actually did pretty great work bringing everyone here.
Thank you. That means a lot. Even among some of your strongest believers, I was doubted that I could make it here. I had to. He's like, but I was a one-man crew for a while, but he's like, now I have many crew members. So many it's not hundreds, but tens of crew members, and it means so much to me that you think I did well.
I honestly don't know if I could have done it myself.
Oh, of course I would not be able to do this without your power. I couldn't fly the ship without your power.
I'll just kind of nod. I don't know what K.A.I knows that he actually draws power, so by my perception, he gets power in the way that I see Kuo-toa believe in something. So I'll just kind of like nod in like a way that like I understand.
Yeah.
How long would it take you to get back to K.A.I if your ship wasn't damaged?
Lots of days. I'm not sure because I'm not the best navigator. I kind of just go where the melody of the sky that plays in my heart takes me. But, you know, I know when it's time to ride the wind. So I'm not sure because I don't really have measurement systems for travel. But I could get back home if you need. Would you like to go and meet I could take you home. I could escort you all home, and we could gather the army of fish folks and go take on the Meridian Tract.
That's what I was thinking, perhaps. But I'd need to confer with my companions first. But that's what I was thinking is perhaps if you could make haste back to K.A.I and gather a force, maybe we could meet somewhere.
Well, I mean, with you?
Well, I was thinking I could send you.
But I have come here to be a part of your crew, to work with you, to be.
Well, sometimes being part of the crew and working together means that you also go off on your own. I've gone off on my own quite a few times.
He kind of like, you see him get worried, and I'd love to have you roll an insight check real quick.
Oh, truly wretched. I don't even know why I'm adding the modifier. A 5?
Yeah, you
No, a 7. Okay.
He looks at you and he's like, then he says, "Are you asking me to go away from you?"
I like, as I said, I haven't even discussed this with my friends, but this just comes to mind. You are an emissary to the Kuo-toa. I've seen firsthand what the Kuo-toa can do in a fight. A force of Kuo-toa would be very helpful.
Yes,
it's not me It's not me sending you away from me so much as it is me sending you on a very, very important mission.
He looks back at you and he says, yes. He says, I mean, we are our community of fish folk are much more powerful. We were kind of scraping to get by before, and now once the folk that you have saved returned with the power of the sinker, we have become much more prominent on K.A.I. And he says, so yeah, yes, I could gather the army for you. Yes, he says, because we have power that you have given us, and I could gather it for you. But he kind of like looks at you though, and I'd love to have you roll a persuasion check.
Before I roll the persuasion check, because this might alter it, I'll be like,
you might have a hard time convincing them after what I did last time, so let me give you this.
And I'll lift up my eye patch and I'll dig my fingers into my eye socket and I'll remove my iron stone eye that K.A.I made for me, and I'll hand it over to him, and I'll be like,
if people don't believe you, you could show them the Windrider's eye.
I'm not attuned to it. When I was attuned to it, it would kind of like, the jewel inside would spin, and now it's just kind of like a cool little diamond jewel inside of an eye.
He holds it in his hands and it's like, a god's eye. And he's just like weeping, like there's just like tears streaming down each of his faces.
I'd always wondered about that. You just really answered something that I was curious about with fish in general.
And now do you want me to make that persuasion roll now?
This is like fully...
I made the eye, so I feel entitled to say that as the fish folk takes it in his hand, the pink stone begins to glow and spin in its spherical setting.
And he has the Breeze Traveler has an eye patch over one of his eyes that is a gem that goes over his actual eye. And what did you get on your persuasion check?
15.
Okay, cool.
I rolled again because it caught the edge of my thing and it didn't roll.
Cool. Yeah, he looks at you and looks at the stone and he says, I will carry this to the heart of your believers, to our community, the community of those who are faithful to the Sinker, because there are many who are dissenters or who don't understand or believe, but we know that you rule over life and death, that you are unmatched of your knowledge of when to rise and when to fall. And while some fools look to ascend, we know to sink.
That sounds about right. All right, well, I'll tell you what, Bubblub, we need to get your ship fixed first and foremost, and I need to chat with my companions briefly. I did have one more question. I have 2 names. Do you have 2 names? Are you Bubblub sometimes and the Breeze Traveler at other times?
Yes, some call me Bub and some call me the Breeze Traveler.
Right. Does your belt buckle flip around?
No, it just says Sinker.
Right. Well, maybe
Because
we
it's
get
for
Kai to
you.
make you a
yeah.
special belt buckle. All right. Well, I'll be back. You just wait here, and I'll go chat with my crewmates.
I'm going to go put the god's eye somewhere safe. And he looks down. Are you sure you don't need this?
I'm not using it right now, and I feel, of anything I have, I can't think of anything that would persuade your fellow Kuatoa that you met me and that I sent you with it.
Well, he says, I'm thankful. He says, I feel that I must tell you. There are some on Collier who I know what you speak of when you say after what you did, but there are many who come back and have still believed in your power and touched upon your power, but there are others who speak of your cowardice and and corruption. I didn't believe any of it, and I know that it is wrong. But they do say that you abandon all those who follow you, and so I'm glad to know that you have clearly not abandoned us. You are giving a piece of your body to us, and that is the opposite of abandonment. So thank you for proving all of the heretics wrong.
Oh, all right. Well, hopefully we will. I'll be right back.
Bye.
For cigarettes.
I'm gonna go put your eye in my bedroom.
Clip it.
He goes back to the boat and is just like trying to find a corner for it. There's no. It's a
Glass of
rowboat.
water. I need a glass of water.
Yeah, I'm gonna dig through my satchel for my old pink eye patch and put it back on.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
It's all wrinkled, and I'll go back to my companions. Like,
Piece of gum stuck to
Wait,
it.
no, wait. When he sees you do that, he goes, wait. And he's like, sees you like pull out your eye patch, and he goes, wait. And he's like, this one's not a real eye. And he takes off his crystal gem eye patch and gives it to you.
Like a
says, "It would be an
rhinestone
honor."
eye patch.
Oh, all right. I suppose so.
I'll put on his eye patch.
All right, Jordan, if we can get that art just flip-flopped around, that'd be great.
You just have a fish holding up an eye over it.
See what I can do.
Like a rhinestone Moonboy? Anyway.
Oh my god.
All right, I want the music video and I want it on my desk tomorrow.
I'll start figuring out how to get the Moonboy in sequins.
Pictures.
I don't think
of
that's hard.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I think you show him sequence.
He'll eat them. He'll eat them, and it'll be a bowel obstruction. I'll be up with him all night.
Yeah, I'll hurry back
so-
over to my companions and kind of walk up and be like,
Well, I don't know if this is a good idea, but we could maybe send old Bublub back to Collier to rustle up Kuatoa to meet us somewhere.
That's actually an incredible idea. We certainly can't keep throwing Kuatoa at our problems. I will say that.
Where are my Kuatoa right now?
Oh yeah, the
Oh my
They are-
god, that's right.
Tuber,
They are living inside of the city of Jadorian.
Flooper,
There's
and
another
Goober.
faction that believes
They're living in
you're a
Jadorian.
god,
They've
right?
gone on to live lives. Oh, all right. I love that for them.
They're out there. What did they call you? The Builder or something?
I don't remember.
Holy
It was,
shit.
it was never going to be the sinker.
The crafted one or
The
something.
crafted one.
The craft.
That was
I don't think
yeah.
I knew that they were calling me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right, because I put them onto K.A.I because I didn't want more followers.
That's
but
right.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's a great idea. Cause,
It's either that or we bring Bubba along, but
No, I'm
as we
I'm
saw,
with you.
the more Kuatoa we have, the stronger their magic seems to be.
Hundreds of them couldn't. I mean, the mind staggers to think what they might
mean,
be
he said-
capable of.
They had like 200 people on their planet, and not all of them are going to be believers,
just
and
in
not all of
his-
them are
in
going to
his
be
group.
warriors. Are we just sending more fish to their death?
Potentially, but they do. They have to choose, as we all do, what to fight for in this life, and they've chosen to fight for.
Well,
Fake
Wait, sounds
God,
like he's
our
chosen
friend.
to believe.
Fake
They've
nothing,
chosen
he's
to
here,
believe
remember?
in
You were there.
in a
You saw
false
him
god.
sink.
It's
False
also
what?
only a matter of
The
time
Windrider.
before these mind flayers get to their planet anyway, and
Right.
and subjugate them the way we originally found them on their ship.
Oh
So
shit, that's true.
I'm sure if we gave them the choice, they'd probably sign up for a little bit of fighting.
I mean, it's not every day an army shows up that can. I don't know. I'm not going to make that decision.
Fish folks gotta die sometime,
It's true.
Whoa.
What's their lifespan? It's like 2 years.
Yeah. It's like a tsetse fly, 24 hours.
Maybe we won't even need the reinforcements. It'll take them a while to get all the way to K.A.I, so
I mean, you saw what belief in what Windrider's done has done for one of them. We can only imagine what getting them all together.
It's true. And by the time
And
they.
if they want to help, at least it's for a good cause.
Right. And by the time that they would find their way back to us, who knows, we may be in dire need of allies.
I mean, who
Also,
are we to
this
turn
isn't-
around a willing force if that's indeed what they are?
So yeah, like as you all kind of like circle back up here, I assume you bring Windrider into the idea of
The dream
taking off
keeper.
the amulet that protects you
Operation Dream Warrior.
from Power Face. You have like this amulet that protects you from Power Face invading your dreams, and so your plan right now is to take it off and try to go to sleep tonight
Send him
and see if you can interface with Power Face.
Send them a dream email. A dream
Yeah.
mail.
A dream mail.
the after effects are pretty unpleasant, though. But
Oh?
I suppose Moonboy can cure us.
I can.
That's
I
right.
could give it a shot. I mean, I think
Didn't
the
he
first.
like?
He got exhaustion.
Yeah, didn't he like make you age backwards or something?
No, he just made it so I couldn't sleep and I was exhausted. Well, Powerface said he had a job for us. Why don't we just see what this job is, and if we take the job, then maybe.
I feel like when we talk to him, we're going to have to. I don't know. Work some kind of an angle.
How can we all get into the same dream?
There are.
I think I can only interface with one person at a time. I haven't really tried to
cast,
tether people's minds together.
I don't know that kind of magic.
If I stay awake and under the amulet, I could perhaps cast Detect Thoughts on you all the way down, but I can't send information. I can only receive information.
Okay, well, we're
What?
going to need you to do that because you will be our backup plan. When I say the code word, you need to thrust the amulet upon us and get us out.
But you'll be asleep.
You'll be asleep. I think.
No, I
Yes, but
no,
I can see his
Flute.
dream.
Oh,
I can
right,
perhaps
right,
see
right.
his dreams with
Flute
my.
will be reading
Sure.
my thoughts, and I'll say the code word, which is Oysters Rockefeller.
Right, but you mumble that in your
Eggs-
sleep all the time.
eggs Moonboy.
This has to be something else.
Right, it should be something that it's
Has to be
unusual.
something else. How about sunlight? You've never mentioned the sun once. Sunlight.
I don't care to, but all right, I will. I'll say sun. I'll say sun. I'll say sunlight. You can taste it when you say it. It burns a little.
Yeah, I've never heard you talk about the sun before.
We don't like to. We don't like
Kind of
to think
strange,
about
actually.
I'm going to be calling you the sun boy.
it. You better not, Kai.
Also,
I
Kai?
won't. I won't. I promise. I'm
better
sorry.
not.
I'm sorry for saying that.
I've
Now
also
I know
never
how
done
Aldous
this.
felt when I made that crack about his brain.
That's right.
But it did look delicious, right?
Makes a sun boy out of you and me. We need to get off of Garden. We need to
Yeah,
leave.
like right now.
This place is making our brains sick.
We need to
making us
leave.
make stupid jokes.
And tonight we enact Project Dream Jam.
We need
Yes,
to.
because if Powerface can scry through the dreams, if we're in motion, if we're away from Jadorian, then we're steering him away from Jadorian.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we should leave before we do this.
I will.
Kai,
We should
I
leave
will
right
go
away.
and make the ship ready for our departure. Not
Kai, is
everything
there-
is finished, but
Do we want to send Bub back to Koliar? I can see
do
if
it.
I'll
Tell
get
us.
him
Maybe they
fixed.
could contact us before.
Is he?
Right, I was gonna give him my sending stone.
Give him your
Tell
cell
him-
phone number.
to only collect true believers.
Right? There
Only
is no
those-
range on sending stones, right?
No, there's not.
The ones that we
Wish
have?
to aid in the
Okay.
cause of the
All right,
Windrider.
Klik, do you think you
Also-
could help me see if we could rustle up any crane to help repair
His ship?
Bub's ship?
Of course.
Yeah,
I
I
can
mean, it's pretty
spare.
easy.
I can spare
you-
some of the crew that are working on my ship, on our ship. It's nearly done.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'll
God,
stay
what-
out
what
of
did we
the
nickname?
way.
What did we nickname the young P-Creen?
PC.
Oh,
PC.
PC.
Jesus
PC.
Christ.
Yeah.
PC.
Yeah, you definitely can connect the this like young inventor Creen.
keep an
with-
eye on this one. He's
PC and SJW.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
their
Old
friend
gang.
Libtard.
The rest of the. And the rest of the Burger King Kids Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will give Bublub the sending stone, and I'll stress upon him how important it is. Like,
These are a bit hard to come by, and I'm giving you mine, but you can talk to us anywhere you are with it. So once you get to Koliar,
Wait,
you can let us know.
you just gave
You're gonna get a lot
you
of
just
texts.
gave the most annoying guy in the world our cell phone
get
number.
a lot
You just put him in the group chat, man. What are you
You
doing?
gotta get.
how else can he contact
What the
us?
fuck? Magic. Any magic.
No, it's okay. I agree. This is a good idea. We need to be able to contact them.
Well, sorry, too
Oh,
late. I'm
boy.
handing it to him.
Kai,
He's like,
Tell him. Wait. It's
two
only,
gifts from.
It's only good once.
no, it's only good 3 times.
It's only good
Huh?
3
I'm
times.
kind of waving you off here at the ramparts.
3 times.
Stop. Look, don't overuse it. Only contact us if it's important.
Windrider.
Ideally, when you get to get to Koliar, and we can tell you where we are, so you can meet us.
Wonderful.
I'm
Okay,
a god
he's like-
too. Tell him
Hang
I'm
on.
a god.
Yeah, but he's also a god as well.
I'm a god as well.
I'm not a god. I am not a god.
I'm sure you've heard of the Moonboy. He's got clearly amazing
Yes.
powers.
Yes, one of your servants. I mean, wait, no, you corrected. Creation. I
No,
apologize.
not that. Just a friend
Translation
and an
issue,
equal.
I think.
Yeah, I think so.
He said, yes. He's like, no problem. He says, I would like a crew. It was nice to have a crew. And I was kind of hoping, it's very lonely, and I'm flying the ship, and so I can't.
Perhaps Felix and Aldous and some of these goblins would go with you. I mean, they all owe you a pretty hefty debt as it is.
Felix and Aldous look at you, and they're like,
And I'll look at them back like, well,
I don't know. I'm not sure where you two think that you would be staying. You can't stay in Jadorian and put them in danger.
I was like, power phase. I mean, it's like, the colony is not after me. They are after anything. And Felix is like, yeah, and power phase is after you all. No one gives a shit about me. And just right then, PC the small cricket, like inventor comes through and he's like, did I hear somebody needs a ship fixed? Because it's besides making buckets of piss that win wars, that's what I do best.
Yeah, bro, the breeze traveler here needs his ship as fast as you can. Needs to be in tip-top shape.
Whoa, he's dressed just like you, Flute. That's crazy.
Yeah. Right, he's a Kuatoa, and it's a long story, but
nice.
Yeah, this is his ship, the Ringer. It might sound familiar.
It's kind of like the name of your ship.
Right.
Yeah. Are you leaving? He says to the breeze traveler. He's like, yeah. He's like, I am. I'm going on a mission for the Windrider. And PC's like, well, you know. He kind of like looks around. He's like, I mean, you said you need a crew? Did I hear you need a crew? I'm the crew of the Dinger has an inventor, and he kind of like gestures over to you, K.A.I, and you see Bub's like eyes light up, and he's like, yes, I need a K.A.I for my ship.
Real bang up crew you got there.
His name is an acronym.
Yeah, all you need is RAM
I guess
and
it's just initials.
And Thaco and Hackshot.
RAM and like a little weird plant or something, and you got the whole crew.
Malzor. Let's get Malzor. Oh, Malzor's gone. He's with on Dinger.
Yeah.
The prune boy.
Man, Malzor would have been a perfect stand-in for Moonboy. Oh well.
He would have, right?
Yeah, I'll be very heartened by this. I'll be like, wow, that's amazing, PC. And I'll tell the Breeze Traveler,
yeah, a lot of the inventions that he talks about are pretty gross, but they're actually pretty effective. So this is a good start for you.
Well, I'm not afraid of anything. And he kind of like pats PC on the back, and he's like, welcome aboard. And PC's like, this is amazing. I'm gonna go. He's like, I need to say goodbye to some people, but he's like, yes, I want to do this. I want to adventure. And so he kind of like runs off and prepares to be on the ship.
Next season on Slightly Worse Than Heroes.
I will
Piss
totally
Cricket,
play this
featuring
this spin-off. The Breeze Traveler, Piss Cricket, Dumpy Chump, just like
and RAM.
Dumpy Chump is pretty cool.
Good enough heroes.
Good enough
Very
heroes
good
is
chat.
great.
Very good. What about Almost Heroes?
That was a great movie with.
Was it?
Dumpy Chump.
yeah.
Yes.
I had his Funko Pop.
Chris Farley.
And I'll have one more heart-to-heart with Bublub, where I kind of like pull him aside. I'll be like,
If you have a hard time convincing your fellow Kuatoa, those mind flayers, they won't be stopping at Chandos or Toril. They'll be coming to Koliar too. So it's their choice to just wait for the Nautiloids to begin to land or join in.
Yes, only the Ringer and the Dinger can save the world. I understand.
Worlds. Right. All right. Can you tell me about this Meridian Track Silver Door, just in case we get there before you do?
Yes, there's a silver door on one of the asteroids that it is an asteroid field that is around the moon.
One of them has a big silver door. Do you know how it opens?
Yes, a large silver door. You just think it to open, and it will. That's what I saw in my dream, at least. I walked up to one of the rocks. I was floating. You were there. And I just thought, I want this door to open, and it opens.
Wow.
Well,
That's
I hate
pretty
to break it
impressive.
to you, that's usually not how it works in real life. But it's a start. We'll look for that
Yes.
silver door. Well, It was good to meet you, Bublub. I'm sorry we couldn't have spent more time together, but hopefully we'll be convening at the third act of a battle we're about to win.
Well, he says, I understand that gods work in mysterious ways.
Cool, you've got my calendar. All right.
And he's like, I am happy for this moment with you, and I know that just in the tale of your coming up, of our connection with you, when you all met the Moon Girl, that she needed to go on to greater things. You are now going on to greater things, and I am the Flute in this situation, going back to do what I need to do. I understand. He says, it was an honor, and thank you for your eye.
He tries to kiss
when
you.
I see you again, you can give it back to me. you
No,
can give it back
was
to
that
me
not-
when I see you again.
Was I wrong in that vibe?
Yeah.
We didn't both want that.
I'll give him a handshake, one of those Predator-style handshakes where we grab each other's forearms.
Yeah, love
Yeah.
But he
And
can't.
I'll be
He
like,
doesn't have a
check.
hand.
Yeah.
Just got it.
Just
Big.
flaps.
Is that a predator sound?
All right. Well, safe travels.
Thank you.
Although we
He
both
says,
know it probably
and-
won't be.
Yeah, you see him and PC are kind of like preparing the ship. You see PC's got kind of like bossing around some Kreen to fix up the ship, and you see this is just for my own heart thing. Sorry, you see one of the Cyclops, the Skull Cyclops, and the Skull Goblins, and you recognize one of them. It's Chub Stubble and Artemis, and they're both like you like see them like kind of like looking over and talking, and they're like kind of like seem to be asking Piss Cricket and the Breeze Traveler. Like, they seem to be like pointing over and be like, "Did you all like?" Yeah, and they're like, you see him explain it to him, and then they like join in, and it's like start helping put the ship together. So it seems like there's a real like, you have my skull here.
Nice.
Those
As,
guys
I love it.
are gonna get
They have a crew.
TPK'd by level 3.
No way. I
know.
believe it. I
I know,
believe
we're gonna get-
No way those guys make it
We're-
to epic tier.
We're gonna
believe
get
in
a
slightly worse
terrible
than
phone
heroes.
call from the Breeze Traveler as they are being absolutely
Come
destroyed.
pick me up.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
it's
I
worth a
think
shot.
that's-
I mean, it's
I think it's a great
I
idea.
think
I
it's a
think this is a
good
great idea.
all right.
All
right,
remember in Lord of the
Project
Rings when they
Dream.
went and got the Ghost Army?
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. This is gonna pay off.
I'm here for it. Reading
Well-
pays off.
Yeah. I mean, I have traveled around Wild Space. Do I reckon how long it would take to get to Koliar on a spelljamming vessel?
Andrew, please don't make me do the math of planet travel right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's your
yeah.
game world.
It'll
Can
take
we
just
Just like
enough
I
time.
thought I snuck around it, but because
Many
all of
days.
the planets,
Got it.
all of these planets are on these rings, and they all move around on an orbit, so their distance
Oh,
from each
okay.
other changes. So I know that Hakatha is at max distance from Garden right now, so it's on
That's
the other
good.
side.
Okay.
So what's going to happen between now and next session is I'm going to roll some dice for the distance between Collier on its axis and Garden on its axis
Right.
to determine that amount of days.
Is it
So,
like a week? 2 weeks? A month.
It's something. Okay, you know what? Just talk amongst yourselves for a second.
No. I just need. I just
No,
need a
I'm-
guess.
I'm-
I just need a guesstimate. I just need a guesstimate.
I'm going into the Google Doc.
Kai,
alright? So
okay,
you
Kai.
all continue to plan.
I think.
Okay,
I
we'll
think
plan
that's-
Project Dream Heist in the
yes.
meantime.
Okay, so we
I
need
will
to get
I
out
will
here.
come up to Piss Cricket and be like, hey, he has no navigational tools. Do you think we can find some of those?
Oh,
We do have the wreckage of like 15 ships. Do you think we can put some together for him?
Also,
So,
maybe
yeah,
one of
yeah,
those
just give me, if you
siege
honestly, if you like,
cannons.
give me, if you all have a map, and you give it to me, I can kind of like make notes here and there,
Oh yeah.
We did-
Well,
We
and
did
kind of
so.
like collect some of the broken pieces. I can like, if I have some reference guides and also the tools to do it, then I think I could help navigate. It's a good.
Alright.
Thanks for that guidance.
Kai and Klik. Operation Dream Puncher. I can't remember what we're calling it.
I don't
if
know.
we can get, I mean, we can't go too. Should we go toward the mind flayers to have this dream thing, and it'll look like we're closer to them?
I mean,
I think we want to. Kai, is there any way you can?
Sorry.
Is there any way you can interface, perhaps, with Klik's omnipathy engine to
Plug in.
I might be
in
able to do
Master
that. I could try.
Perhaps we could get all three of us in the dream.
I have been working on some upgrades to the omnipathy engine.
I think at which point, if we can all get into the dream, we simply act like what Powerface wants us to be, which is his friend. And we say, we've been trying to get a hold of you, Powerface.
Yeah, we're like, hey,
But-
big guy.
But the colony...
Well,
is
he'll immediately
everyone-
want us to
mind
meet him
flayers.
somewhere.
We've all
They're
got
so
brains,
mean.
and they want them, and they want your dynasty of crime, and they're coming for you, man.
And they say that you stink and that you're not
Stink.
good at crime.
They say that your face isn't powerful.
Yeah.
That's what I
Between
feel.
11 and 13 days. That's how.
Thank you. Wow.
Well done.
And it's not even an accurate number. Great.
How far is that from Chandos? I like the name of the planet Chandos.
So
'cause it
in
sounds
Arc
like-
8, they'll reach
sounds
there in
like
Arc
a real
8.
surfer dude.
Yes.
Chandos.
Chandas.
Is,
Teach you how to wakeboard.
is Felix still around here?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna go over to Felix because an idea just struck me now that I know a bit of magic that I didn't used to know.
Can we try to tinker on this omnipathy engine problem while that's happening?
Yeah, you can do
yeah.
you can do an Arcana check if you would like to
Okay.
know if you can do it or not.
I'm gonna ask Felix.
Felix, does the Ark have a dedicated teleportation circle in it?
I think he would. Let's see if he would know that. He says no, and you can do an insight check.
Dude, I'm gonna break this staff of power over his fucking head. I have not rolled like above a 5 all night. That insight check is a 9.
Oh man, he got a 6. When you said that, I was like, fuck. I was like, come on, be lower.
Funny.
No, he got a 6 on that. And he goes, yeah, he's like clearly lying. Like he gets like uncomfortable when he realizes what you are asking and why you might be asking.
I'm gonna close the distance between us and put my hand on his former boss's sword, and I'm gonna say,
Felix, I don't think you're telling me the truth. Is there a teleportation circle on the Ark?
Yes, there is. That's how I got out. He says,
So you would know the runes for that?
yes, he says, but he kind of like looks up at you and he looks kind of sad in this and like weak, and he's like, I don't want to go back there.
I'm not saying you have to go back. If you give me the runes, I can go there. We can go there whenever we want.
He says, there is an army of beholders on that ship.
I'm not saying we're going there immediately right now. It's just good to know
Oh,
that
we're gonna need a couple
it's-
levels, like
it's-
one or two.
Yeah, we just want the
probably.
number.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
good to know that we. It's just good information to have, right? Will you show me those runes?
Um,
I'm not bringing you along, Felix. I just need the runes.
you can roll a persuasion check with advantage.
oh, there it is. I knew you were hiding in my dice. Natural 20.
There it goes.
So 26.
Hell yeah. Yeah. He's like, because I think that I survived for a reason, and you all survived for a reason. Yes, he says, I will give you these runes, but he looks at you and he goes, They got everybody, Flute. All of the widowers are theirs now in one way or another. And a couple of those ways are horrifying to see. So he kind of like chokes up and he's like, just know that going in, it's not the ship that you know.
Well, hopefully that will be our last plan, but it's just an option. Doesn't hurt to have a back door, right?
He says it never hurts to have a back door. He's like, it's probably the only reason I'm alive. And he will
when you
kind of
said
like...
Oh, sorry, I had one more question. You said the power face joined later? Did he use that teleportation circle, or did he portal in some other way? Or did he take a ship?
He says, the ship was docked on Hakatha when
So he joined physically?
he floated his body on. Yes.
All right.
Did not take much. It was a poor decision that was made for us to go there. We thought we could trust him.
Well, it sounds like we're about to make the same poor decision. Is there anything else you can think to tell me that could possibly be useful?
This is me thinking about what he knows.
I know we haven't always seen eye to eye, Felix, but it seems like now, or whatever previous acrimony we had from the widowers is not really important to either of us anymore.
This is not they are a ghost now. He says, I've always just been in it for me, for it was the best place, it was the best deal I could get, and I think after seeing enough of these deals go bad and seeing what you all have done in this world, I think you all are the best deal this world can get. So it's like, I wish I could be of more help, but I will say, I know that there are things knocking on the doors here, and what I've been trying to escape is the horrors of Power Face, and he says, Mind Flayers don't seem that bad to me comparatively.
Well,
So,
take it from me, they're fucking horrible. So
Yeah.
it's
Did you see that Baldur's Gate 3?
yeah.
It was terrifying.
Can I do a check on the runes that he gives me? I'll give him like a quill and a piece of parchment and.
Sure. Yeah, he kind of like sits down and leans against a stone and writes them out, and it's this like circle of like symbols of runes.
Cool.
And he but he also tells you too that he's like, it seems like him and Aldous are both looking for a safe haven, and they are happy to stay here on Jadorian if they are welcome to kind of like help protect it and be a resource for you all as well.
Decision to make, but I suppose I could put in a word for you.
Sure. He goes, wonderful. And he's like, I can also create a teleportation circle here for
They have
you
one
all
here.
to use. He's like, yeah, but that just you all would know. So
Like a private one that we could use as a toilet. I get it.
Yeah, I suppose it doesn't hurt. Give me those runes as well.
sure.
Secret Jadorian. Dope. Cool. I'll go back to my companions and I'll certainly tell them that worst case scenario, we now have a secret door onto the Ark.
Sounds like
Because I know the spell teleportation circle, so I can teleport us into any existing teleportation circle that I know the runes for.
Oof. Sounds like sneaking into hell, but we've done that.
If we need to.
That's literally done that.
We did do that.
It was like a little
Just
corner
something
office
to
of hell,
keep in our pocket now that we have it.
I have two questions as we're getting closer to the end here. So you all want to do the dreamscapade stuff, not in Jadorian, is that correct?
Yes, we want to get on the ship that K.A.I just built, and does Stygia's sight ride on the ship that
it
K.A.I built?
clamps onto the bottom.
It's got a little spot
cool.
for. We'll talk about it.
I love that. We will need to talk about it because I want to.
Yeah, Stygia's sight can't travel at terminal speed. It travels kind of local speed, so it has to hit.
It's our little shuttle.
Yeah.
Love it.
Very
we will. We'll talk all about that.
Yeah, I think we want to blast off on that, and then tonight, as we take our rest, Operation Dream.
Mind Crime. Queensryche presents.
Dream heist. Inception.
Exactly.
Does any?
So are you trying to fully get out of Garden, because that will take a while, or are you just like?
I think we just want. The goal is so that if Powerface scries on us when this happens, we will clearly be like in motion and not in the city of Jadorian. Is the number one goal. It does not. I don't think we necessarily have to be away from Garden.
I think we should be going toward the Goblin King's place.
Should we go?
Because if we're going away from Garden, it doesn't look like we have a problem with the Mind Flayers.
Interesting.
But the Mind Flayers are.
Well, they're chasing
everywhere. They're not just on Garden. They are across
also,
the space.
Question for the DM. I think I could be wrong, but the way we came out of Slowdust's lair, it was like a weird little secret passageway it seemed like it was like a one-way trip out there. Is that correct, or am I wrong?
She opened that door for you.
Yeah, right.
It seems
so we
like
would probably
maybe you could
go all the way
there
around.
are multiple ways. There's basically like if you think about it through like you're inside of a spherical planet, like basically a spherical mass, and you know that to the outer rim of the world, like the proverbial east, is Hakatha, where Powerface is coming from. To the proverbial west is where you came from, kind of toward back toward the Skull Goblin King's Palace, the Cove of Bones, to this like west. There's also a proverbial north that you all skipped around on the way through here, so you could go out through that way as well. But you would have to like move through space that you do not know yet, and so just to kind of like situate us here before we end. Mostly, I think I want to know which way from that you all are leaving Jadorian, and then and then we can kind of like go from there.
I was under the impression we were gonna head for the Widower stronghold.
Oh yeah, toward
you mean the
Meridian Tract stronghold.
Tears of Saloon.
I agree. Right, the Tears of Saloon, which are back towards.
Tears of Saloon.
That's towards.
Holy moly!
To
pause. Case managed to pull off a rhinestone moon.
Oh my god, that's
in the Twitch.
Incredible.
He's fluttering.
I can't see.
Okay.
so good.
So, the Tears of Saloon are towards the Mind Flayers, basically, away from Powerface. To your point, Klik.
It's like past the Mind Flayers, because the Mind Flayers are pretty close to
Well,
Garden.
if it's not gonna blow our cover that we're actively moving around, then we should go toward the Tears.
I think we need to go now.
Yeah.
If we have
Fears for
goodbyes-
tears. Let's
If we
do
have
it.
goodbyes to say, then leave them a letter. But we need to go.
I'll make good on my promise to Felix and if I could tell Auntie, what's her name?
Rabakash.
Rabakash. Well,
I'll go with you.
Rachel, I love that you have it so like quickly. Thank you. That warms my
yeah.
heart.
I didn't just look it up.
If Klik wanted to, I guess I would need Klik to translate anyway. But I'll throw in a word that that Aldous and Felix just need a safe haven, and that if they present any problems, they can be booted out.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, yes. We've already decided in the council meetings, the community meetings, that we will take in any people who need help here, because we needed help and it came to us. So we shall. Jadorian is now a place that will give out help to those in need as well.
Auntie,
There's been lots of decrees about it. It's taken forever to vote on it.
I'm proud of you. I love that. But keep your walls up. There's flayers everywhere. I do remember how to defend yourselves.
She says, "Oh yes.
I'll miss home."
Well, we will miss you as well. But I think that the impact you have made here will be held in all of our minds, all of our shared thoughts. She says, "If I may give you a piece of advice, Klik.
Always.
Leave in the night. Do not say goodbye to the city, because I think there will be too many who will try and convince you to stay. And I think I've seen your heart, and I know that you will be a leader for us wherever you are, and Jadorian's fine. We'll be fine. If mind flayers eat us all, then at least we will go out a better place than we were before you came here." But she says, "I doubt that will happen. They have to get to a dragon first anyway."
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Keep an eye on Gluck for me. He's different.
Yes.
Oh, yes, and there's a closet full of monsters in the room I was staying in. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Auntie.
Are you leaving as many of them as here?
Oh,
as you
yeah.
can? Oh, hell yeah. Okay, good.
Just so many invasive
I
species.
think at that point
Just-
he takes the hat off and lets this weird like moon slug glorp plunk onto the ground and just kind of nudges it into the brush.
Don't let anyone eat that.
She's like, "I might eat it. It looks
Don't.
I
delicious."
was just gonna say I've eaten one or two. They're pretty good.
Okay, well, don't tell me what to do, Klik.
You're the
Give you
boss.
Glowing loogies. Bye.
I will also hand Auntie Rabakash the amended blueprints for two PC's Spelljammer plans for a Kreen Chachka shaped warship.
Nice.
Oh, she takes them. She's like, "Oh, these are much better." She's like, "I mean, you couldn't stop PC's crew now if you tried. They are moving." He set them on a good track.
I took all of the piss out that wasn't absolutely necessary.
There's just X's all over.
Still a little, yeah. It's a lot. There's a lot of red pen.
This is much better. Truly the thing holding up our ship production the most was just trying to produce the quantity of urine that was required in the ship's defenses.
Yes, it's not required. Just
Wonderful.
to make that clear.
Well, I will take this to PC's workshop, and make sure the crew in there are get to making these adjustments.
Take care of yourself. And I will kind of leave in a hurry.
Cool. That's it. She says. Don't forget, Klik. We are all always around. She says, kind of like gesturing up at the sky and like the, which is the glowing underground cavern ceiling in. But just she's like, none of us are one person, and she kind of like nods and goes into the council community center, and you hear like a bustle and like some like people talking inside of there, and she kind of like shoos you away as it's starting to get darker. Cool. Well, unless anyone wants to do anything else on Jadorian, as you see kind of like these skull goblins and cyclopses like intermingling in the city center, with some like the Kreen who are like having a good time, like talking to, like trying to talk to them and like showing them around. You all head toward the big workshop where the these like Kreen ships are being built, but the ship that K.A.I has been working on as well is being built. And K.A.I, if you want to kind of like, I would love to end the episode here with you, with your description of you kind of like pulling the curtain off and just like, not everything, but just like what they see with the from the scene.
We enter through the large doors of this workshop, and you can see a ship that looks like... At first, it reminds you of the Nautiloid a little bit. It has a similar shape to the Nautiloid, except it's considerably larger. But it looks like a grand pirate ship, maritime vessel, and a venerable country manor. And the Nautiloid all had a weird baby.
Hell yeah.
So the back of it is where the Nautiloid's spiral shell would be, is this sort of the upper architecture of a grand estate, like a big mansion, culminating in this big glass dome on the top.
Sweet.
With a
Very cool.
big ship's hull, and there are some sort of articulated metal appendages on the front of it.
That's okay. It's not gold.
It's not
It's
gold.
beautiful.
It's incredible.
Wow, what's it called?
Well, I was thinking of this. One of the first books that I read when I was not a child, but something like a child. I was thinking we could call it the Stella Luna.
I like it.
I love that so much. I love that so much, I broke character.
I think as you say that, you kind of like the camera zooms out and you can see just like the bioluminescence that is the nighttime here, as like there's just a bunch of growth that changes color and like in rotation that goes from this yellowish orange glow like that was bright on the ceiling. It slowly fades to this pale blue as like the night sets in. And we will pick it up next time with you all on this ship, kind of investigating it, and as it you all like get on and it flies. You just like there's like a as it starts to move up and out, off like across and out of the walls of the city of Jadorian.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Dun, 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 dun,
Hell
dun, dun,
yeah.
Where does my little ship attach to it?
It has there's a sort of section on the rear bottom side where Stygia's breath can sort of hang like a bat in this little alcove.
Sweet. Love it. Cool. Yeah, I'll tuck it away in there.
All right,
All right,
friends.
great. Cool. All right.
Into the night.
Yeah. Sneaking away in the night. I love it.
What a pickle.
What a pickle.
Seriously.
Yeah, between
Mark.
Says Moonboy as he eats his first pickle on the new ship.
Nom nom.
stuck
Opens
between
a pickle in a
Opens a
barrel.
fridge stocked with strange pickles.
Oh,
from the
we will
furthest
get to the
reaches.
many pickles and
galaxy.
treasures
Oof.
aboard the Stella Luna in the next episode.
It's an all pickle episode. Come back next week.
Pickle up.
Also, we're gonna enact this kind of Freddy Krueger of a plan we've come up with.
Seriously.
It is a Freddy Krueger-esque
Yeah.
plan.
Love it.
Yeah.
Also, I love that Klik and K.A.I are gonna experience a dream.
Yeah, that is
Oh, that's
Like-
true.
Like, we're gonna be in a dream.
Yeah,
we've never done
dreamed.
that.
I would think
I love
that
it.
there would be a way to give.
Oh, we're gonna try anyway. Harlan's
Yeah.
gonna be like,
Who knows?
doesn't work that way.
Oh, we never gave you the result of that Arcana check.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right.
It was a 28.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean, which was to know if it's possible. So
Yeah.
no, we definitely can't. Can't do it.
No, it's possible. It's going to take some tinkering, but Kai's has also
Tinkering?
left his body before.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's like a little bit of a workaround here.
I almost-
but we'll get to that next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Andrew, you're gone next week, right?
No, I think I might be able to make it. We'll see. We have
Okay.
to do some
Okay.
tech tests.
Here's
Yeah,
hoping.
okay, cool.
Maybe,
Well,
maybe
we
not.
will see how asleep you are next week. So
I sleep through the dream heist.
Whoa, meta. He's so in character.
We need you there as our escape shoot. What was it? Sunrise?
Yeah.
Sunset?
yeah, they'll, like, get me
Sunburst?
out.
Sunrise.
Something. Sunrise.
Sunlight.
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 Sunrise,
I like that. Moonboy doesn't remember. He's like, oh shit,
Oh,
oh shit.
no.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
anything
remember
sun.
Clam's Casino.
Yeah.
Because moons don't really rise, so that's like not a.
Yeah.
They just sort of show up, which
They,
is weird.
they zigzag.
Yeah.
They're always one step ahead of you.
Well,
cool.
friends, thanks for watching episode 2. We'll be back next week for a weird dream. We're gonna try to. What's the thing when you dream but you control it?
Oh,
Lucid dream.
dreaming.
We're gonna lucid dream next week.
We're gonna trip
Chat
balls,
with the big
y'all.
bad.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And see if we can not get dead from power face. Oh god.
Yeah, thanks for everybody for hanging out. It's so cool to see everybody. I saw KMW said Kai had to go. Sleep telepathy seems reasonable. It was so long ago. I love it. Thanks Bipolar Dice Roller for not judging me for not having the planet distances immediately. He is another spell-jaming DM.
Aw.
And yeah, just a reminder, it's like we're truly trying to hit a nice mark of being able to pay everyone this year throughout all of our the months of work. So if you feel like supporting the show, it'd be huge to have you join our Patreon and just give us $5 a month to help keep all the lights on over here. So consider doing that. And that's it. I don't really have anything else besides that. Anybody else want to shout anything out before we go?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But that made me remember that it would have been cool to name the ship the Lighthouse.
Damn, that's
But now
good.
it's
Stella
too late.
Luna's very good, though.
Yeah.
Good try. All right. See you next week, y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Probably won't be the last ship.
Stargazer, Moonboy, Klik, the Crusher, K.A.I, Humblia, Chef, and the Windrider, Flute, Whimteaser. They're better than heroes. They'll never be zeros. Better than heroes.
Maybe the next one.